As mentioned earlier, rounding off his trip to New York this week, President Moon Jae-in delivered a keynote speech at the UN General Assembly on Wednesday. He briefed the UN member nations on the progress South Korea has made with North Korea, stressing that peace was the ultimate goal. Our Blue House correspondent Shin Se-min gives us more details from New York.
President Moon Jae-in has brought the international community up to speed on North Korea. Addressing UN member nations on the last leg of his trip to New York, the president spoke of the progress made with Pyongyang, from getting the regime to put down its nuclear weapons to disclosing its will for peace and prosperity in front of the world. The South Korean president, for the first time on the UN stage, also referred to bringing an official end to the Korean War.
전쟁 종식은 매우 절실합니다. 평화 체제로 가기 위해 반드시 거쳐야 할 과정입니다. 앞으로 비핵화를 위한 과감한 조치들이 관련국 사이에서 실행되고 종전선언으로 이어질 것을 기대합니다.
Adding to his case for a peaceful Korean Peninsula, President Moon revealed his administration's plans to utilize the joint economic potential of the two Koreas. He mentioned his previous proposal of setting up a rail network including the North and the U.S., which would, in theory, connect the two Koreas to other Northeast Asian nations, just like the coal and steel community that paved the way for the creation of the European Union.
동아시아 철도 공동체는 향후 동아시아 에너지 공동체와 경제 공동체, 더 나아가 동북아 다자평화 안보 체제로 이어질 수 있는 출발점이 될 수 있을 것입니다.
He added through such plans, the Koreas will help reinvigorate the stalled economic potential of East Asia, the part of the world that accounts for a quarter of the world's economy. The South Korean leader also touched upon humanitarian issues, saying Korea, which suffered under Japan's wartime system of sexual enslavement, will be front and center of stamping out sexual violence in the disputed regions. The president is closing out of his 4-day trip in New York, much of which he spent briefing South Korea's allies as well as international dignitaries on his latest summit with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. What's next is to see those seeds of diplomacy bear fruit, perhaps starting with full international backing for a new economic plan on the Korean Peninsula while waiting on the next Kim-Trump summit. Shin Se-min, Arirang News, New York.